Hello and welcome back. I'm coming in without major update, but there is plenty to do. Just before hopping on here, I was making sure all of my controls are up to date and labeled properly. The labels really do help me keep track of what I'm doing while filming the National Ceiling Fan Day video. And as you can see, I swapped in a Hunter original control for the heat fan. The low speed isn't as nice, and I knew it wouldn't be, but the overall speed range is much better. So I think with that small update, the entire display is complete up to this point. So these are the last 3 locations that need to be dealt with. I indicated in the last video that I have some new Casablanca to fit in, and I think I responded to a couple of inquiries about the originals. So I believe I am complete with everything regarding the Casablanca production. You can see I've already vacated the studio with it. I'm doing a remake of this latex later. That video will already be out by the time you see this one. It's been on the remake list forever and it's finally getting done. I don't think I'm quite going to install Casablanca today because I'm still editing that content. I want to give myself just a little more wiggle room in case I need to pop something back in the studio for a quick shot. However, there is some preparation that I can do here to be ready for when I'm done. So by the time you're seeing this, you will know that I don't just have one Casablanca product to get up, I actually have 2. I've been kind of trying to throw off the scent that I did actually get my hands on both models, but also again I wasn't sure if I was going to complete that production in time, so I didn't want to prematurely create 2 spaces that I'd have to fill later. If I didn't finish in time, that would have just created more work that I'd have to do in a time where I really don't have time to make more work for myself. So now the plan is to retire this one, and then the silver is going to move over into that location. And then I believe this one will be the Sura, and then the Vespucci will go here. So the silver original is going to be holding down for oil bath representation. I know this one has been up for a minute, that's why I'm kind of tucking it away at the back. But as I responded in one of the comments, this fan is particularly special to me. Working with it and doing the videos was really a full circle moment. So I'm still enjoying it, and it's my display so I can do what I want.
Put a fan directly on a fish.
Alright, I am done here, and I just went through all of my content for Casablanca. I'm talking main video, demonstration videos, promo, TikTok, Instagram stories. I don't see anything else that I'm missing, and I have time right now, so I think I'm gonna get these put up. I'm sure that deciding to do this will in fact bite me later. However, these fans are all quick connect, super easy to change in and out. So if I do have to pull something down again, it'll be pretty quick. And in the lucky case that I don't, this will already be all done. Alright, here is kind of an overview of this entire section now that it's tied in and complete. All of my very advanced spatial planning seems to have worked out, but overall I'm super happy with the turnout and even more happy to be at the finish line as far as display goes. It has been a long process to get here, but always well worth it. So for now, this is about all I have. I have a little bit of spare time left, but I'm just gonna hop off camera and do some cleanup. There are a couple of other just spatial things I'd like to do before National Ceiling Fan Day. Now that the display is hopefully all set, it really just comes down to whether I have time. So we will see what happens happens, and in any case, I should be back relatively soon. Some of these other small projects are things I want to do regardless of that timing, so I will be back to do them in any case. So I will see you back soon. Hello, I am here doing all of the last minute prep work that I possibly can for the National Ceiling Fan Day video. I was already working a little bit earlier today, and then I have a little time this evening, and then I have tomorrow afternoon to work with, and then that's pretty much it because I'm filming on my day off midweek. I don't think I've ever documented all of these last minute mad dash things that are always a component of the preparation for this video. I always kind of just finish the display updates and log off, so this year you're getting more of a look than ever before at the behind the scenes. So right now the task that I'm doing is going through and making sure that every single fan is wobble free and that there are no control hiccups or any other problems. A lot of times during the changeout process I'll just throw something up and not remember that I have to go back and balance it or fix something until this point in the process. Or a lot of times something new will pop up. For example, the Alessandra was not responding well to its control, so I went in and pulled out the antenna a little bit more, which seems to have solved that issue. Even with all of this preparation work, something usually pops up during the video that I have to do some special cutting around, but I really try to keep that to as much of a minimum as I can, and all of this preliminary work helps achieve that. So right over here is where I left off earlier, that's why this is the only fan on right now. I have already checked everything from here back, and like I said, normally I don't show all this on camera. I guess I always thought it would just be boring, but as I got into the last couple that I've already done, I was thinking you guys might want to see more of what goes into it. So I wanted to get this little bit of an intro out of the way. I need to take a quick little break before we get back to this, but I will be back shortly and we will resume giving everything a once-over. Alright, looking good on this one. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. I don't really have to aim for perfection with these because when they're all running on high, they all kind of sway anyways. I do just overall want to make sure they're in pretty good balance when on medium and low. On to the next. Okay, perfect example of why I do this. I was just going to go ahead and do this one off camera quick because it's been here for a couple of cycles, so realistically there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. And there's nothing wrong with the fan itself, but for some reason out of the blue it is causing my track lights to vibrate. With all of the other running noise at high speed, I'm not sure that that would even be audible, but I am going to try to fix it regardless. Any additional noise outside of the fans that I can cut down is helpful for the audio. Alright, so I just slid in a little split washer between the track and the truss to act as kind of a buffer between the two and sort of help fill in any gaps that might exist that are causing that vibration, and it seems to have fixed it. So now I am moving into the final portion. Alright, so that should be everything tested and ready to go on that end. Now my next step is going to be going through and testing each speed sequence with everything turned on. I always do that particularly to check high speed. With all of the airflow and velocity and other physics happening, that's when some of the strange dynamics start to come out. And the same thing can happen for medium, so I check that. But for medium, I also try to figure out which speeds I'm going to be using if there isn't a dedicated medium speed. So for all the DC fans, I have to go through and select which speed is going to be best. I also have a few things on 4-speed controls, so I have to select if I want to use the upper middle speed or the lower middle speed. So that's what I'll be back with tomorrow. For now, I'm going to head out. It's starting to get late. I do always underestimate how long these last details take. Honestly, that's probably why it always ends up being off camera, because I'm running around last minute trying to get it done. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to any of the other side projects that I had hoped to get done. Realistically, I got the more time-consuming parts done today, so wrapping up the display work tomorrow should be relatively quick. Perhaps afterward I'll be able to slide something else in, but I won't make any promises because, again, I always underestimate the timing on this. And obviously the display needs to be done and functional before anything else, otherwise there is no video to make. So I will see you back tomorrow and we'll see where the day takes us. I am back. We're going to start by testing low speed, then I will go to high, and then I'll do the fine-tuning with medium. We're looking good here. I never expect to have too many issues with low speed, but this is a great example of why I test it anyways. I love an aesthetic low, but with some of the other airflow and other factors at play here, this is a little bit slow for me. This happens pretty often with IntelliTouch fans that I display. The low speed is just a little bit too slow. So a lot of times in the past I've used the second speed, and I think I'm gonna do that again. So I'll just bump it up one and see how that looks. And yeah, that is definitely more of the look that I'm going for. Again, I do like a good slow, low speed, but when they're barely crawling, it looks kind of weird in context with everything else. So this is my plan now. In the moment of actually filming the video, we'll see if I actually remember to do that. So now I can move on and try high speed. Thankfully, it doesn't seem that there are any major issues with high speed, so this one can be quick, and I will move on to medium. Okay, so I already pinned these ones down since they were kind of out of camera view. And then what I've done is gone through and set everything that has a dedicated medium speed to that medium speed. The only exception to that is the Rossetti in the corner, but that one is essentially variable speed, and I'm not going to be able to nail down the same speed every time. I basically just have to adjust that one by sight. So now I'll basically start back at this end and increase the speeds by increments until I find the one that I want to use. That should be everything dialed in. Now I'm gonna turn everything off and then go through and make sure everything is hanging straight again. High speed can do some wacky stuff and make things go a little sideways. So I'll just go through and make sure everything is looking its best to essentially reset for low speed. Also at this point, I'll reset anything that I'm turning on from the switch at the wall to low speed so that it's ready to go. And then I'm basically done with the display and will not touch it again until I film the video in a few days. So I am down to the final stretch of preparation. Okay, I do believe that wraps up everything that I need to do with the display. So the next time you see it, it will be National Ceiling Fan Day. So next, I do have some time, so I want to get to a project that I've been trying to find the right time slot to slide it into, and I think now is the time to get it done. So it's going to be a studio lighting update. A couple months back, I received this chandelier from Kichler as a sample for review. You may have seen it on my Instagram stories. I did a little feature there. I got it with intention of using it in my studio area, but I didn't have time to fully get it implemented at the time. So I kind of just rigged something up so I could do my review, and then it's been sitting back here ever since. So my original plan for it was I've been wanting to move this mirror over more centered into the wall, and then I was going to hang the chandelier in front. And my plan is still kind of to do that same thing, but I'm going to move this progress chandelier in this corner and hang that in front of the mirror because it'll fit in front without having to reformat too much. And then I'll put the Kichler piece in this corner, but it's a larger diameter, so I think I'm going to span with a piece of strut to bring it out a little bit further, and then it will actually fit properly in this corner. You can see I have it set up in kind of a linear format right now. It's not technically supposed to be that way, but I was just going to make it work. But this new idea to shuffle things around will work better and will kind of be a nice refresh. So first of all, I've got to get this moved, and then I will move on to the progress chandelier. Alright, mirror is moved. I readjusted the track lights a little bit, added a second Edison bulb pendant. I had a spare of those that I had to take down from over here because I usually need this light when I do product spotlights, and it was always just interfering, so I eliminated it from there. So now I'm having some second thoughts on whether I want to put the chandelier in front of the mirror as originally planned, or if I just want to put it over here. I guess I will maybe try it here, see what I think, and I can always move it again if I have to. Okay, so it's kind of aggressive. On camera, it really doesn't look that good. That's a little better. I don't know about this, but then I was thinking maybe if I lose this track head, that might be a little bit more of what I'm looking for. It's a little more subtle, and I think the chandelier itself would make up for the lack of light. It's hard to say for sure until it's all done, but I think I'm going to go with it for now and see how it goes. If I really don't like it later, I can always change this part. Okay, I got this all done, did some readjustments with the track heads, and I think this will work. As always, it'll just take some getting used to. I'm gonna have to see how this bare bulb plays with filming videos. I think that might be why I eliminated one here in the first place. However, these days I work with completely different camera settings than when I first moved in here, and normally I have these lights in the back turned way down, and the fan itself is lit, and the camera settings make up for all the difference in lighting, so this may not be anywhere near as impactful as it used to be. I'll just have to see how that works, and if I end up pulling this one down, it's no problem. So now I can move over here and figure out what I need to do with this. Okay, I'm getting all figured out here. It looks like this is going to work well. I'm trying to figure out hanging height. This is a much more minimal chandelier style than what was here before. It feels perhaps a little empty, but I'm also liking that this is a lower profile style, so I can maybe hang it a little higher. I recently got rid of my built-in shelving on this wall and replaced it with this cart, because normally I like to have this right under the TV, but when I record spotlight videos, I need to put one of my soft softbox lights directly here. So then I shove this over, and this has become a little bit more of a working corner than it used to be. So I'm not totally against the prospect of hanging this one a bit higher to give a little more room over here. So I think I'm gonna go with something like this. Honestly, this style looks a little bit strange if it's hanging much lower. So all in all, I think it's gonna work out pretty well. Okay, I'm pretty much wrapped up here. Apologies for not filming much more, but I am starting to get short on time, and obviously this has to be done. So I wanted to focus on getting everything wrapped up. I also went over and changed the light bulbs in these because they were always so dim in comparison to everything else. So right now I'm pretty happy with where everything is sitting. So I have absolutely no concept of where I'm going to be at for time on this video. I think I have plenty to make it regular length, but it might also be super long. In any case, I want this all to go up before National Ceiling Fan Day, so I'm going to close it out. Remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell before you leave to get updates for all of my new videos, and I will see you next time and very soon for National Ceiling Fan Day. Click left to watch another vlog, or click right for my entire shop vlog playlist to start at the beginning.